Hello everyone, this is Vacosties of the Dark Edge of Light here with the first episode, it's really just an intro episode quickly, of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I'm going to be doing this one, of course, because one, it's a bit newer, two, I managed to pick it up on the delightful Steam sale that happened this winter, and because I absolutely adore the Deus Ex games. Of my top 3 game franchises in Cyberpunk, it's Deus Ex, Shadowrun, and Syndicate. I love those 3 franchises, and Deus Ex, from the video game perspective, is probably the top one. Absolutely love the Shadowrun stuff that they've been putting out lately, but I also run that as a tabletop RPG, and I actually prefer it there. Though, don't get me wrong, the Shadowrun games are a lot of fun. And Syndicate's only had a couple entries, but they've all been really solid. But Deus Ex has a very special place in my heart. It was one of the first really in-depth RPGs that were completely 3D that I ever played as a kid. With the original Deus Ex on the PC long, long ago. Of course, Deus Ex 2 got a little bit canned in some of its reviews, but I found it to be a very decent game still. And then the newer Deus Exes that they've had, Human Revolution was fantastic. Mankind Divided I've heard some amazing things about. So I'm really glad to be able to play it for you. Now the one thing I am going to say is this, again, is basically a quick intro because I'm not actually going to do a Let's Play of the intro segments. The intro, the tutorial that's inevitably in the beginning of every ARPG that's out there. I'm not going to be doing that. Just because I feel like, one, there's a lot of cutscenes usually in those, and Square Enix does actually prefer you to try to avoid cutscenes if you can. They don't really care about mid-game cutscenes, but intro and ending cutscenes they really want people to try and avoid, and to try to cut out any major story cutscenes if possible. I mean, obviously it's not always, but definitely going to do that. Eidos Interactive is cool with doing the Let's Plays. Square is cool as long as you try to, stay conscious of some of that. Plus, I feel like it's probably boring for people to watch some of those early cutscenes because there's a lot of just sitting there watching the cutscenes, and I'm going to want to actually listen to the story and not necessarily do commentary over some of those cutscenes. So I'm going to try and avoid doing, I'm going to try to avoid doing episodes that actually go during the cutscenes. And probably when some of them come up later in the game, I may stop the recording suddenly and just do a voiceover for the end of it or something like that. We'll see what happens. But just wanted to throw this up here tonight. This should be, if all goes well, accompanied by the actual first episode. All depends on how far I get in the game at this point and if I get far enough to actually do a recording. But just wanted to introduce this new series to the channel. As always, you can find links to my social media and the social media for the Dark Edge of Light in the description down below. We'll see you on the first actual play episode of it. That will be the next episode uploaded to the channel. And as always, game on.